Hello, and welcome to the Season of Opulence INFOSPLOSIONN. My name is Excuse me, little raspy there. Hey, I'm Fallout, and let's talk about the massive amount of information that Bungie has just dumped upon the community doorstep regarding the upcoming Season of Opulence in Destiny 2. Today, Bungie has put out a butt-ton of information, starting with a Season 7 teaser trailer. There is a lot of information to unpack in this trailer, but fortunately, Bungie also gave us an update on their website as well. I'm going to go through and briefly touch on all of this new information, so buckle up because there is a lot to cover. First and foremost, we now have the final update to the Destiny 2 Forsaken gameplay calendar, showing off all the content introduced through Season of the Drifter, Season of the Forge, and of course the upcoming Season of Opulence. Now, before we get into all that new information, I can't be the only one wondering what's going to happen to Destiny 2 after the Season of Opulence is over. Of course, there's no word on that yet, but there could be a few different possibilities that we could run into. Possibility one is that Destiny 3 might be coming later in the year, and that's why we haven't heard any whisper about any additional content after the Season of Opulence. I do think that is kind of a long shot though, probably not the most realistic possibility that we have. I think a far more likely scenario is that we'll either get nothing until D3 eventually does come out, or more likely, we'll get more information towards the end of Season of Opulence about possible new content coming in fall of 2019 for D2. Anyway, back to the calendar. We have 2 exotic quests coming down the pipe in Season of Opulence. And fortunately for us, there's no real need to guess at what they are because we also have a detailed season calendar showing exactly what they are. The Truth Rocket Launcher, a favorite power weapon of Destiny 1, will be coming back for us to obtain on June 11th, and a brand new exotic hand cannon quest is coming on July 2nd called the Lumina quest. There has been a lot of speculation going around about this hand cannon. If you're brushed up on your Destiny lore, you might notice that this gun looks a little bit Flora-esque, leading a lot of people to think that it might be a recreation of the gun Rose, aka the hand cannon used by bad guy extraordinaire Dredgen Yor before being completely consumed by the darkness when his hand cannon transformed from Rose into Thorn. Again, none of that is confirmed, we can only speculate based on the design of the weapon. The only thing I do know for sure is that the gun looks extremely badass and I definitely want to get it. Moving right along, I'm going to jump around the calendar a little bit, don't mind me. The Solstice of Heroes is returning on July 30th. The Solstice is better known as Destiny's free-to-play summer season event that any Guardian can participate in, and it's promising new rewards and surprises in store. I think it's safe to say that no matter what goes on in the summer event, we are definitely going to be able to get a Year 2 Solstice armor set, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Coming out a little bit before Solstice of Heroes on July 9th, we have Tribute Hall and Moments of Triumph. Now, I have no idea, nor do we have any clarification on what Tribute Hall might be, but the Moments of Triumph is something that we all are very familiar with. Moments of Triumph is something that appeals to the completionists out there in the Destiny community. You are basically provided with a specific list of challenges, and completing each gives you a series of points. The harder challenges obviously give you more points, and easier challenges will give you less. The goal, if this is kind of the thing that you're into, is to complete as many challenges as you can, rack up as many points as you can, and redeem prizes for cracking point milestones. For lack of a better explanation, it's kind of like a Destiny version of Chuck E. Cheese, and completing challenges gives you tokens, which you can take to the front counter and get a random prize. In the previous Moment of Triumph event, rewards included ghost shells, emblems, sparrows, and even a unique t-shirt. I'm willing to bet that the rewards will be very similar this time around. Probably a bunch of cosmetic items, probably a new t-shirt. Jumping back a little bit all the way to June 4th, we now have a little bit more information on something called the Menagerie. If you recall, Bungie had somewhat recently promised us a brand new 6-player match-made activity. The Menagerie seems to be that activity. Assembling your Chalice of Opulence is just the first step. Callus has crafted a maze of challenges in his lost vaults. Test your strength in the all-new 6-player match-made activity, the Menagerie, and meet his challenges head-on to unlock your rewards. That's sort of all the information we have right now, but from the trailer, we obviously know that it's some kind of PvE-based activity where you seemingly fight large swarms of enemies. I know, I'm intentionally not using the word horde because the community has always been pretty much begging for a real kind of horde mode, and that's what I originally thought the Reckoning might be, so I'm really trying to not jinx things and use the H word moving forward. Also, by looking at the calendar, we know the following regarding the Menagerie. It has some kind of boss, and it will be receiving new bosses in time, one on June 11th and another on June 18th. It also has both a normal mode and a heroic mode, and heroic mode drops on June 25th. In addition to that, Bungie has given us a little picture of a bunch of weapons and armor that we can potentially get as rewards from participating in the Menagerie. Again, according to Bungie.net, you can use the Chalice of Opulence to choose which type of gear you earn from the Menagerie, unravel the mystery, and unlock its power to build a loadout that matches your playstyle. Now, depending on how difficult the Menagerie is and how easily we can pick our gear, this is pretty big. I know that a really large problem I have with D2 is that you can put in a lot of work, yet due to bad RNG, there is a very low chance of you getting the exact type of reward that you want. Hopefully though, this new system that Bungie is apparently laying out will fix that. I mean, definitely not game-wide, but being able to pick your endgame rewards from the Menagerie sounds really cool. I very much like the idea of being able to put in the work and then pick out my reward when everything is said and done. And take a look at these weapons and armor pieces too. They actually look pretty sick. Some of them are either revamped versions of old equipment or reskins, who knows, but there's a lot in there that I definitely want to get my hands on. You got some kind of callous looking Mida Mini tool type SMG. We got a brand new hand cannon, which looks a little bit like a reskinned IS Luna. We got a new shotgun, and you know how much I like those. We've got some kind of callous looking Drang as well. It's really anybody's guess, but there is a lot of loot to look at here. Who knows if there is more on the table than only what we can see in this image. Anyway, here's hoping we get more information on the Menagerie soon, and I really look forward to participating. Oh, also on the Bungie website, there's this promising little snippet of text. The Menagerie apparently offers replayability. Carve your way through ever-changing paths and enemies. That is fairly enticing, although again, knock on wood, we'll find out exactly how entertaining and how much replayability there is when we get our hands on the game type. And of course, we can't leave this out. Also on the calendar, we have the brand new raid, Crown of Sorrow. This new raid, like every new raid, is highly anticipated by pretty much everyone currently playing D2 and has everyone returning back to the OG raid location, the Leviathan. And it's old news, but it's worth repeating. The new raid is dropping on Day 1 of Season of Opulence, which again is Tuesday, June 4th. Now, even though the new content goes live at reset, the raid will not be launching until 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you think you might not have enough time to get raid ready for the Crown of Sorrow, don't worry too much. Bungie has already mentioned their implementation of a new system designed to make the race for Worlds First much less focused on gear and power level grinding. They are essentially putting in a temporary power level cap on the new raid for the first 24 hours, I believe. So leveling up will still help you, but it won't be as much of a do or die type scenario. Links to that Day 1 raid information down below in the video description. And take a look at this. I told you we had a lot of info to cover. We finally have information on the new Pinnacle Weapons for Season 7. Officially, we have a sniper, a grenade launcher, and a bow. First up, we have the Revoker, which is a sniper rifle that you can earn from playing PvP. The information that we have is that missed shots are returned to the magazine after a short duration. The announcement of this Pinnacle weapon has already begun to create a few waves in the PvP community. Mainly, people are frustrated, borderline upset that the new Pinnacle weapon does not seem to reward accuracy, which you would expect, especially considering the fact that it is a sniper rifle. Instead, we have a weapon that seemingly rewards players for missing their shots. Now, I don't want to jump to judgment too quickly because that happened with the Recluse, and then that gun ended up being fairly hot. I will say I am glad that we do have a Pinnacle sniper finally. I hope it lives up to the hype, and I hope that the missed shots does not somehow break the ammo economy of PvP. More on that when I have the gun in my hands. Moving on, we have the Wendigo GL3 grenade launcher, which you can earn from doing PvE activities. Orbs of light increase blast radius and damage on this grenade launcher. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty good. I think very clearly we have a power weapon here. From the looks of things, it definitely does not look like a single shot grenade launcher, so therefore I don't think we have to worry about it being, quote, overpowered in PvP by any means. I think that'll be a fine gun. I think it'll pair very nicely with any super that creates a lot of orbs for your team, and I'm really interested to see how much each orb of light improves the blast radius and the damage of the weapon overall. Finally, we have the Hush Bow, which you can earn by playing Gambit. Hip-fired precision shots give a massive draw speed bonus. I'm not gonna lie to you, that one sounds very interesting. Right now in Destiny, bows are fun to use, but I don't think they are incredibly PvP viable, so I'm really curious how the Hush Bow will enter the meta. I'm very interested by the idea of hip-fire precision shots giving you a big bonus to your draw speed. I wonder if that means you'll be able to hit someone in the head and then very quickly be able to draw the next arrow and then boom, hit them with another extremely quick arrow for the 2-tap kill. Or maybe it'll only be viable in Gambit, who knows. Last but definitely not least, we have returning exotics coming into play in Season of Opulence. Aside from the Truth rocket launcher, which we already saw in the trailer, we have the Peregrine Greaves Titan boots returning. Those were spotted by a few eagle-eyed folks in the community today, as well as the Astrocyte Verse helmet for the Warlock. I'm guessing that the Peregrine Greaves in D2 will hopefully be strong enough to shoulder charge an enemy out of their roaming super. That would really mix things up for PvP. Of course, the Astrocyte Verse historically gave you a better blink jump option for the Warlock, and I really hope that this lives up to the hype because I have not used blink in a hot minute in D2. That's pretty much all the information we received today, which again is a lot, but I'm sure there is much more coming in the Season of Opulence that we don't yet know about. After all, it is going to be the Season of Secrets, so definitely expect more to come that has not been mentioned on the calendar, on the roadmap, or anywhere else. If you enjoyed this INFOSPLOSIONN video, do me a favor and go ahead and click like. Free to do, helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor and click on the subscribe button, and if you want to be an extra homie, go on over to twitch.tv/FalloutPlays and throw me a follow there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.